Hey there traders, it's Jeff from thestockbandit.com. Thanks for joining me for this video. So as we do every week, we're taking a look here at the indices, where we've come from, what are the key levels, how's the recent action been, and what's the character of this market as we head into a brand new week of trading. It's always important to understand the indices in a day and age of unprecedented correlation out there. So last week we saw a little bit of strength. It was modest strength, but the bulls, they've kept the pressure on. They've done a really nice, good job of that, and they cannot be questioned just yet. Now, there's a lot of people who are wondering about the validity of this rally and whether or not it's going to be able to continue. Many consider this to be somewhat long in the tooth, and truth be told, this rally from this New Year's Eve pullback that we last saw all the way to current day, we really haven't seen hardly any profit taking, and especially you go back a little bit further than that to this November low, and yes, we've come a pretty considerable distance, but we've gone through some rest phases along the way, and that was a really good digestion phase there in the middle of it. Now for the NASDAQ, for example, we're up here and we just tagged 31.96. Now take a look here at the intraday chart from September 21st. This is the 52-week high for the NASDAQ, 3196.93. Take a look at Friday's high of last week, 3196.89. So we got within what, 0.04 of a point of the high, and finished just a couple points beneath that. The thing that I find most interesting here is the light volume that came with Friday's move, but that's not the only interesting thing here. Let me just shift over to the intraday chart, and basically this line right here is the breaking point. This is a 3-minute chart, okay? But this is the breaking point between Thursday on the left and Friday on the right. So you can see that we got this opening gap on Friday, a little bit of early strength, and then from there, take a look at just how tight this little channel is for the remaining, 6 hours of the day. So we got basically a half hour of strength and then 6 hours of very tight lateral movement. Now that may prove to be a continuation type of setup on the intraday chart, but it was really interesting that we saw basically a touch of the 52-week high and then absolutely nothing for 6 hours, and really quiet volume along with that. So all eyes are going to be on 31.96 this week. Let's take a look at the S&P next. This index has been acting really well. It's really been holding this 1495 area. We also had 1515 that had kind of been in play for a few days, and here again we nudged just past it early in the session. Take a look at the intraday chart here. Early strength and then really tight consolidation there for the remaining 6 hours of the day. So really not much of a breakout there. And also take a look here at this really weak volume that occurred with Friday's push through out of this little base. So this has been a healthy base. We saw a nice rally into it. We saw some good lateral price action there. And that's a good technical way to kind of digest that previous rally. But this initial push here through that 1515 area to start pushing higher here is not very impressive so far. We've got 1576 as the all-time high for the S&P going back to 2007. Take a look here at the Russell, which is the small cap index, and here again this index has really been flirting with this 912 area. It was able to close at 913 on Friday, so again not much of a breakout. This index has basically rallied 20% off this November low. That's a huge rally. It has yet to see virtually any pullback. We saw a little bit of a dip right here on Monday of last week, 1.3%, and 2 days later we had completely erased it. So the buyers are still definitely very much in charge there and remain active. And then you've got the Dow, which has really been respecting 14,020. That's kind of been the short-term high here. Take a look at Friday's high, 14,022. So when you see this index that's at such a high level, nudging past the key level by just 2 points and then falling kind of back in the range, that's again just really a test. It's not exactly a breakout, especially when you see this very light volume that accompanied that. It doesn't say a whole lot about the resolve of the bulls on Friday for the day. Now overall, they've definitely been holding their ground. They've been really producing over and over here, and the Dow now stands basically 200 points from its all-time high. So we'll see if this week we see a challenge of that, or if the bulls happen to take a little bit of a breather and lighten up a little bit, maybe book some profits, it would not at all be a bad thing to do. In fact, as technicians, you and I need to be aware that any pullback, yeah, it might hurt some open positions a little bit, but longer term, meaning over the coming weeks, that's really going to help create a lot of new bases and new patterns to be trading from. Speaking of, if you're looking for some trade ideas to add to your own, check us out at thestockbandit.com. We're running a free trial right now. You want to take a look at what it's all about with zero risk. We'd love to show you what we're all about. We're adding a ton of convenience and great value for our subscribers by delivering the best plays in the market every night straight to your inbox, right through email. So you've got swing trades to face each new trading session. Thanks for joining me for this video. I will have more for you soon, but until then, trade like a bandit.